Hello everybody, we're into the pistol round already. Sorry for the delay. It looks like we've got a little bit of a Nemiga-sided pistol round, Dean. Already coming through with 3 kills as forZe look to renegotiate their way into that A site. They're going to be running up against 3 CTs, but Lollipop moved into an aggressive position might give them an opportunity to at least find an opening. No, he doesn't. Instead, dropping the bomb and pretty much ending the round there, to be honest.
Yeah, Mitch, that actually caught me so off guard. I accidentally dropped my microphone, so it took me a second to readjust it. Just about got it back in position now as you threw it back to me. But yeah, Z-Power is left alone. I don't think he's going to be readjusting the outcome of this round much at all for himself, unfortunately. Maybe he can add a couple kills with his P250, but as he comes around the corner, a strong angle being held there by Lollipop, and he gets his 4th of the round. I didn't get to catch all of them, unfortunately, but a very strong starter for Nemiga, and considering how that last map went, I wouldn't be surprised if they can't come in with the 2-0. It's not what I was predicting in the beginning, but you just never know with online CS, man. You never know. And Nemiga are a very capable team. I've always thought Lollipop was a really good player as well. You don't have anyone really on that side who stands out as being a weak player, but when you look at forZe, you're like, okay, Power is sick, Face Crack has his moments, all of them as well can just be insane. So, I don't know. It really can flip at any moment, and that's what I like about CIS. Yes, it tends to be crazy, but the second half of Overpass did, unfortunately, disappoint us a little bit. I do need to fix my X-ray right now. I forgot to do that once again. I'm a noob.
A silly goose. But yeah, no, forZe definitely disappointed us coming into the previous second half. Moving on into the site, though, straight away. Kills are going towards forZe. They've won the day and overrun the bomb site as the plant soon to come down. Speedak almost caught an engagement. Knows there's a player up close outside the door, but that ain't gonna help a whole bunch. Gotta find the kills. That's what Box is looking for. Moving up behind, Tippity tapping away, but the spray isn't good as the power lives to fight another day. Nemiga looking to go away. Speedak all alone, 1v4, and that's all he can do. Where's the finally get the first round on the board, Dean?
Much quicker as well. That's how you want to see them being able to return it. Obviously, back on the first map, we seen them actually being able to get off to the 3-0 start before beginning to kind of drop things. So being able to actually come back here, win out the round that follows the pistol, obviously it does put Nemiga in an even tougher spot. So their actual buy is very weakened. It gives an opportunity for forZe again to come out with potentially the 3 rounds in a row towards the beginning. And considering they are here on the T side, that's kind of what you do want to see from them. You want to see them trying to get a good foundation early on, because if Nemiga step up like they did back on Overpass, they could be having a similar CT-sided showing, but under B-Rush coming in this time, obviously knowing they're up against a lot less in terms of the weapons and the nades, so they are able to overrun the bomb site itself fairly easily. And a couple players in Kitchen even being lined up there by the Mac 10. Jerry has a chance to keep on building up this economy. The nade is going to be perfect. I don't know if it'll kill Lollipop, but it nearly finishes off the player in the background. 1 left for Speedak. This round it's done anyway. The question is, are they planning on sticking around? They might have wanted to get the Mac 10, but I think realizing that it's not very likely, they do just have to begin to fall away.
Yeah, that Mac 10 could have actually played a decent role in the next round. You see MDS and JO aren't going to have anything, so Deagle or 5-7 drop to them. Mac 10 looks for money, but yeah, definitely not worth risking losing the players. Lit gets tagged up pretty heavily. And we're going to see Power able to make it out of Kitchen, along with the rest of the team. And the saves under congestion. Power keeps W keying forward, and there's 2 kills for him. Oh, that one hurt. Nemiga not saving anything really, just a 5-7 in armor. You're wondering why I said forZe got off to got the first round eventually, when they were obviously it was 1 out of 2, because the last half didn't go great for them, did it? Over and Overpass didn't find a single round. So it's been quite a while since we've seen them winning a round. The new feeling for them almost. Well, as we said, moving into Mirage, they look like favorites, and Inferno as well. But the fact that Nemiga already have the 1-0 start and aren't going to be lost on Mirage, certainly not on Inferno either, the chance is definitely there for forZe to drop this series. That's a scary prospect. Now just USPs though, so it'll be clean enough and fast push out towards the B site. Just 1 player being Mac 10 in the back as Nemiga group up on the A bomb site and just look to carry forward the armor on Box and not die to the SMG if at all possible.
May get the kill himself. Yeah, there we go. Face Crack goes down. There is more of them though trying to follow up. Z-Power, the man who got quite a bit of money for himself there towards the end of that previous round. is actually able to get another for himself here. So that's really good. You want your upper being able to get some of those SMG kills, obviously, for himself. Box now actually just being left alone up in Palace, so I don't think he's going to be able to do much about living if the push does come true. Although, to be fair, if Z-Power goes down, he's only on 57. I don't know if they'd really want to send anyone else after it, especially not the rifles. So there is a chance if he gets this one. Nope. Absolutely wrecked. Only one bullet shot towards the body. That's not 2 BM. 3-1 though. I'm hoping we're seeing a rejuvenated forZe here, but really this is when we're going to be able to tell. Once the guns do come out, it's not perfect for Nemiga, but they do at least have the rifles. They have the basics when it comes to utility. Is Lollipop going to get a kit? I would like that. No, he's going to go for the helmet. Thinking they'd keep some SMGs maybe. They haven't, but they do have one M4, but I don't think that's really too big of a deal. The kit probably would have been a bit more useful. Especially if they want to go for an aggressive push around mid, which is looking like it could be the case. Actually pushing underpass and maybe pushing a player up through the apartments as well. So right now, with an A execute coming in without a kit, once the bomb gets planted, they may want to just immediately consider saving if they haven't already got some sort of advantage out, or perhaps by doing some damage or getting a frag. Oh, that molly don't make it a little bit more complicated for face crack. Definitely delaying as well, letting them set themselves up. Oh, and there we go, the spam comes through.
With the kills now through, forZe are under a little bit of threat. The retake could do some serious damage. A double mid flank on its way from Flit and Z-Power. You don't see that every day. That puts a lot of pressure on the players on the site. They need to keep them back, and luckily Nemiga are using their utility, slowing down. They don't expect a second player. How could you? Z-Power now watching the crossover on site. They can play nice and passive, let them move forward, but they don't even. Jerry, risky play. The swing from FaceCrack as well, giving him opportunities. And if you think about it, had he have killed FaceCrack and had a smoke to drop on the bomb, then Z-Power just has to spam and pray. Not the ideal situation, but it works out anyways. 4-1. And I think I can safely say that's the first in a 4 versus 4 double mid flank I've seen come through.
Yeah, I mean, it's risky, obviously, because you're leaving 2 players down on the bomb site who have to hold off. If they fall quickly, as you said, they would have had a smoke at that point as well, and then definitely would have had a much better chance of just sticking it. That kind of would have been the only real opportunity there for Nemiga on that retake, if I'm being honest, since they didn't have a kit. So it was just a very difficult spot to be in. The second they put that double flank in on mid without the kit being in play, it was pretty much screwed. So yeah, I mean, 4-1 looking much better here so far from forZe, despite dropping the pistol now, having taken 4 in a row. Now Almazar, who's found his way out on towards B, but he's being attacked by 2 players, so he needs to be a little bit more cautious. Gets the first. Will go down to box. It's only a Mach 10 though, so it's not the end of the world, and in the meantime, the rest of forZe still pretty much split up elsewhere on the map, getting themselves control. Look at this though, Speedak. If he had more than a USP, this position could be huge. He would have the ability to catch the up off guard. And there we go. He actually manages to do it just with the default pistol. Jo and Lollipop fragging as well. Oh my god, I put a massive curse on this one apparently. Look at the Irish not rubbing off on them. Or perhaps it is. But Flit, yeah, I mean alone. It's still recoverable somewhat because they don't have... I was gonna say the best utility in such to hold down around this position, and there was only the 2 around the bomb, so if he had have gotten them, then maybe he would have had a chance, but no, go straight down. And look at the weapons that are retrieved for Nemiga. That's a crazy round for them to be able to win out.
Oh, it absolutely is. There's no way they should have been walking away with what they just managed to pull out. And that's again upsetting forZe, putting them back in this spot, remembering that this isn't your series. This isn't easy for you guys. There's a challenge on hand, and that's what we expect when we see domestic matchups, but in this series, I said it myself, domestic as it may be, I don't care. Nemiga shouldn't be taking it. Should have been an easy walk in the park for forZe. All expectations being defied. Speedak, Extreme Eaters player, we saw do a lot of damage in the minors. Oh, hello. And Lollipop, the other guy we highlighted to start this one off. Fragging like animals. Now they're flashed out though. FaceCrack moving in, clearing all over the wood, but Box picks up another kill as they move forward. Take your map control, we'll take your players down. Problem is, oh, how's he managed that? Lollipop wasn't even spotting it. Never mind. I'm gonna say FaceCrack had left him unchecked, but apparently Lollipop was in the same box. With him falling, they could easily be on A, excuse me. So there's 3 players outside the site, 1 in mid. The bomb's now being spotted, but it's just gonna walk on a B. They keep getting the kills. Eventually FaceCrack falls, but it's a 2v2. And that bomb didn't go down short. It's actually moving all the way through apartments, giving them a little bit of time to retake this bomb site.
Oh, Especially if Zapower decides that he wants to take that fight in towards kitchen. Understandably, to try and hold off that cross so that they couldn't post the up towards the apartments, which was the case there for MDS, but shot not being connected gives a little bit of room for Flit. The issue is that short push is now coming in, so he needs to get this one quickly, which would give him the chance to get that bomb planted and then play out the one-on-one. MDS, though, not going to be inching any further forward, doesn't want to give any opportunities, but he doesn't realize Flit is crossed. So yeah, will be caught off guard once that jump comes on towards the van. So the bomb will be planted, but going for the plant for short. This is dangerous. Jo should be able to get that kill easily, and just about as he fades around the corner. That was very, very close indeed. If he was a tiny bit more healthy, maybe he actually would have survived that AK bullet through the corner of the box. But yeah, plenty of time here. Jo gets himself the op, trying to see if there's any other nades lying around. Throws away a molly. Gets himself the T-molly, which I believe does some more damage, if I'm remembering correctly, at least to armored players.
Interesting that we saw them go all the way through apps, though, with the bomb. I feel like as soon as they got the kill in window, that's them opened up to just push on down. The only threat would be maybe someone peeks connector, but you had face crack on site, so you know that's not an issue. And it would have bought them a whole lot more time. Zapower wouldn't have had to play aggressive on the window, and that 2v2 probably would have played out completely differently. But the decision to long rotate meant Zapower had to peek window to hold the cross. Dies, and that's more or less the round over. That 2v1 just very difficult to win from that point. forZe now with an AWP and not much else. Just Deagles to back it up. And the early flank from Box looks good to find a kill. Yes. Oh, no! I don't know how Flit won that fight.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure either. Had already been taken pretty low as well before swinging back out. Was tagged up a little bit. 16 health is what he survives on, so not going to keep the weapon for himself. Instead, giving it over to a teammate, as you would expect. Without the Kevlar, though, on most of these players, it is definitely still around favoring Nemiga no longer. I mean, we just keep on jinxing things. Zapower comes through a one on Lollipop. I mean, now suddenly it's at 5-on-3. This is not a round that Nemiga can afford to lose. I mean, forZe are looking to come back with a force buy of their own, or they're kind of an eco, I suppose, only with that one saved up over. Grouping now up towards the A side of the map. Nades-wise, unfortunately, not having anything. It is just the one flash. But as we see Nemiga beginning to take a little bit of a gamble here and stacking up over towards the B side of the map, it seems like, unfortunately, they're not really going to be able to do much about this push once it does come in. Maybe the op can manage to get 1 or 2 picks, but other than that, with 2 players already positioned on B, most likely, once they do lose this bomb site, the save is just going to be called for. Especially with Jo being able to drop a weapon over in the following. There's 1 kill from Speedak. Not able to connect the second, unfortunately. And yeah, the bomb now going to be planted.
MDS is good to find the kill on Flit. This opens it up to get back into the site. But there's low HP on Speedak and on MDS. Unless they get offered up an opportunity pretty soon, I'd imagine they'll fall back. The op shot missed. MDS got tagged up a little more, and they're still going for it. Still moving in despite not having a lot of cash. MDS falls. The push into CT nets them a kill. This is now a little bit more winnable. Jerry spotted on the op, swings right into Speedak, who was holding him, and that defuse comes all the way through. Nemiga making the retake work, despite such low HP. If Jo fell or even got tagged on the crossover, it could have been over. But luckily, it didn't. And 4-4 they go. Nemiga putting up such a strong fight. Again, I'm blown away by this. It has been a long time since I cast Nemiga, but still, and they're mostly with the same roster as well, which is the surprising thing. For this level of Counter-Strike, it's very rare you see them playing together. I know Speedax, this is like, actually, the last map was his 69th map with the team. But the rest of the guys have been between 300 and 600 maps played. You know, this is a very stable roster, which, as I said, is very rare at this level. And I respect the decision. Sticking together as a team, keeping through thick and thin, keeping that roster in line, it does a lot for you in the long run, that you can, well, hope that eventually you start moving up the rankings as your team play starts to bridge the gap on individual skill, and hopefully the individuals improve along the way. And then you get Speedak into the roster, and boom, you should be flying up.
I mean, so far here, definitely looking good in this best of 3. Managing to, again, reclaim the control after a bit of a shaky start there for themselves. Lollipop has a really good position here where he should at least be able to find one. Jerry in towards Sandwich, not actually going to be watching this under Palace position for the moment. But I don't think Lollipop himself really wants to do too much. Waiting for his teammates to come in at this point has definitely hurt that op scope as well in towards ramp. So yeah, flash comes over. That may give the ability to peek. That one shot and sandwich now definitely giving the info of where Jerry is. So yeah, eventually Lollipop's able to capitalize on that one. Flash comes in as well from the follow-up, or at least attempt the follow-up on FaceCrack. Gets the kill towards Flit instead. And yeah, FaceCrack left all alone. 1-on-2 at this point. I mean, it is somewhat recoverable, but already being low and with both players pushing in from CT and Connector, he really shouldn't be given many opportunities. That was a little bit risky. I think JO was ready to follow up in case that kill came true anyway. But yeah, 5th round put onto the board for Nemiga. It's a relatively close one. The economy not really been able to build up at all for them. But having a look at what obviously forZe have available without that bomb plant, they don't have enough to buy. So likely going back to the half investment yet again of just those pistols and Kevlar, maybe a few nades. You get the Mac 10 for FaceCrack. Okay, Flick goes for an AK. They're able to spend a decent amount obviously with the full loss bonus, but not everything.
And Nemiga have been so impressive when it comes down to those individual fights as well. Like Lollipop in that round highlighted it. I was already going to say he was having a great performance, but put himself up to 10 kills with it. Speedak on the op, I wouldn't say he's been underwhelming, but the whole team doing a very nice job. Between 5 and 6 kills on 4 of them. And in this game as well, you got to look at how that pistol went down. They lost the force buy. They lost to forZe's force buy, then they lost their own force. They lost the eco, and then came back in, lost the buy round, then came back into it on a weird pistol. So it's definitely been a messy start to the game, but overall, what I'm trying to highlight is the fact that Nemiga have not had a good start. They definitely got the unlucky end of that winning the pistol. FaceCrack, unluckily, doesn't react in time to take the kill, but down on the site now. He's jumping around, hoping that was an AWPer, but instead it's MDS on an M4, quickly spraying him down before his feet touch the floor. And a man advantage to play with for Nemiga. But they've managed to sneak Flit in, but Speedak's just too smart. He knew it was coming.
I was going to say that was definitely their opportunity. It seemed like that should have nearly been 100% the kill for Flit. Destroyed by the Oppa Speedak, who is playing very well so far throughout Mirage. We do eventually actually see that B commitment coming in. It'll give them the bomb plant. Sadly, though, Z-Power swinging in does go down. Running CZ Dink. Why not? Small bit of damage on the Speedak, but not enough towards either to actually get the kill. So plenty of time, obviously, for that defuse to come in. 3 players surviving for Nemiga. Not perfect, but considering how much investment actually did come in for forZe, I don't think they're too upset about that. But obviously, forZe themselves also can be pretty happy about what they were able to do and get that bomb down. They'll be coming onto their full buy now. They'll have pretty much everything they want. Up coming in for Z-Power. So he'll have that now to try and challenge back up against Speedak, who, as we said, has been having a pretty strong performance for Nemiga so far. And he was also looking pretty good back on overpass, if I recall, as well. There we go, 6-4. I mean, it's a decent foundation, obviously, for forZe here on the T side. But I want to see them coming out with 6 or 7 rounds, preferably 7. 6 is the position where you start feeling comfortable. But for forZe, I think they need to come out with 7 here. Almost managing to line up that spray there on the 2 players peeking in, despite being blind. Not going to work out, though, so that will be Nemiga actually getting themselves a little bit of control around this area.
forZe will leave a lurkin towards that A site, but ramp's already been cleared out. This might be Speedak making a move forward. I think that's Jerry's opportunity to pick him off, but he starts to rotate as well as they seek at mid-control. Underpass is going to be taken. Flash is waited for as well, just in case there's someone dropped down lower. As they move forward, middle is now clear. They know they've got that control under their belts. Still pretty much full utility left to play with. The map is their playground. A minute on the clock and lots of time. Nemiga have gone for a 4-man A play. One in the window, so it's only a solo MDS. No molly to work with. Not even a smoke. The man only has a flashbang, but luckily the contact on A is where we started off. Eventually, though, a smoke on top connector alludes to the B hit. Where the rotate's already on the way from JO. He knows it's likely to be B, but MDS caught in the open, crossing on the side, presuming short to still be clear. FaceCrack living up to his namesake. Cracking open ahead of JO, but the bomb's in the open, and Box is just holding it. 30 seconds left. And they're out of smokes, they're out of flashes, but they're not out of op shots. As the power comes through with 1, they've got to plant it. And although Speedak can't find the frag, look who's sneaking up behind. It's Lollipop. And he gets the frag onto the power afterwards. 4K needed for FaceCrack to clutch this. He's already coming up behind them in the kitchen.
May catch Speedak off guard. He had just actually reacted and looked across to the kitchen. Didn't hit the shot himself, but Lollipop also was up in the apartments. They had a nice little double peek angle there with the elevated position for the second player, obviously making it quite difficult for the fight to be won. So Lollipop's able to come out on top of that one, give them the 7th round. Comes into a very close position, to be fair, in the end. FaceCrack putting up a great effort. With the bomb also going down again, they are able to keep the buy-in here for forZe. So getting it back in, they're able to keep the pressure on. They still have the ability here, if they do take one round, to very likely put them the CT buys down onto an eco. I think they would just invest because of the fact that Box would be looking at a double eco. But considering we've seen the last, 6 rounds now going in favor of Nemiga, their economy is nowhere near as strong as they would like it to be. So a good opportunity for us to get this one. Maybe they can find the 6th off the back of it, or just in general just have the ability to keep on grinding it out. Oh, I don't think he realizes that a player actually crossed. Did take the flicker cross, so maybe he does.
Either way, forZe have gained that mid control. Nemiga might look to contest it in a little bit. 2 players close short, 1 in connector. But with the opening kill on apartments, that aggression isn't necessarily needed. Even still, though, you see a boost is just about to come through. Up on top of the boxes, Jo was spotted, and that's given the kill back. No more man advantage for Nemiga. It feels a little bit unnecessary that late on when they've got the kill at the opening duel already. And Jerry continues to extend the advantage into forZe's favor. Now with a weakened B side, I think Fox is on his rotate through. Yep, he's going to go and reinforce the B bomb site. But the thing is, they are still looking to commit there. So it's a good read, or good gamble by Nemiga, I should say.
Not a bad opening from Speedak, especially with Box, as you said, having rotated in with pretty decent position. Right now, the bomb is dropped up in the apartments. There's 42 seconds remaining now. He will actually spot the bomb out, and it's Flay who's coming through the underpass, quickly being joined though by his teammate. And Box has no idea. I don't know what exactly his plan was there. He was kind of in the middle ground,
just hoping,
keeping himself in a spot where he could probably be screwed no matter which direction they came from.
And maybe one of the players no clips through the wall. You never know.
Perhaps.
Yeah, he was clearly going out to peek short, thinking they wouldn't be through underpass that quickly. But unfortunately, that second player had already zoomed up. Took himself the kill. 7-5. forZe would like to end this on a much tighter scoreline than what they're currently sitting on. And it looks like they should at least be connecting the 6th, with Nemiga coming in on pistols and USPs at that. Speedak upgrading to a Zeus, if you can call it an upgrade, but not at that range, sadly. Needed to be a little bit closer. And just a P250 for Jo. This round should be clear cut for forZe. And now that they've already spotted a Zeus out, they know they're against an eco. So it's time to group up and not give any individual opportunities. Unlike what Flit's doing, just walking in through a very close range angle with lots of different, or close range position, lots of different angles where USPs could be grouped up. He does spot out that A is clear. Valuable information, but it comes at a huge risk.
Oh, and there we go. Weapon being taken down. Lollipop's going to get himself an AK now. I don't think he can do much about the A push that's already come true, unfortunately, but he is going to initially look to go into the CT spawn. Yeah, backing away.
What's the power doing? He's got an op. Look at where he is. He's up in B apps. You know you're against an eco. What is this?
This could be really risky. Yeah, if they push into the apartments, he could be losing this weapon. But nah, beginning to back away. Thinking that maybe they've actually begun to rotate in towards middle potentially, but no, not the case. I mean, yeah, it's only Lollipop who needs to save right now. I wouldn't have been surprised if they sent the rest of these players out. It's not like forZe themselves have much money. They should be aware of that fact. They should know that they can't really afford to be sending out their own hunters. I was gonna say that they could be trying to just use these as a little bit of a buffer between the rifle, but considering you most likely expect forZe not to hunt, that's not really needed. Z-Power able to get himself one there on box, fortunately, towards mid, and yeah, they've kind of just given up on trying to even get any exit frags at this point. Staying alive, getting their buy back in now. There's 6 on the board though for forZe.
I mean, Flit basically played that round like he had an SMG. If he had a MAC-10, that's fine. Going through connector by himself, yeah, whatever. Maybe even a little bit faster, but walking in with an AK, just what was the point? That was what I was gonna say. What was the point before I saw Z-Power was alone in B apps, pushing forward towards the apps with an op? That is just not a good play at all. Not against USPs. So they get a free AK on the CT side. They're happy with that. They could have gotten a whole lot more, but they played it close to the chest. As they push out towards the A bomb site, that's the bomb first out and first down. As Lollipop eliminates him, goes in for a second. Box doing most of the damage. And Lollipop's already got 3. The bomb down, the round over.
Spam it. Not yet. Oh. Yeah, not spamming the smoke. So Flit's safe for now. I don't think he'd be safe once the smoke fades away. That's been spotted now. Yeah, not really risking this lollipop. I like that he waits a sec, has his teammate help him. The flash goes in. Unfortunately, it does blind lollipop as well as Flit, so he's not really able to capitalize off the back of it. And I prefer that. With both of these players who were holding on ramp, Z-Power was ready as well, so even if he did go forward, there's a good chance that the op would have taken him down, and then suddenly there is a small opening back into the round potentially for the T side. Right now, I mean, there is economy at least available. What, they get 2,400 in the next round? So yeah, I think ideally they don't really want to be living here. Even with the op, I mean, it is an option that they could try and save it over, but even then, Almazar could drop it in return for a rifle in the next round. So I think ideally they do just go for this. Even then, a 2-on-5 with 30 seconds left, it is becoming near impossible. A little spray going down. I'm wondering what Lollipop put down. Anything kind of BM? Here we go. I mean, hoping just for an opening. It's not being given to them, though. No mistakes being made. So I think it is becoming, at this point, even an option to save if they want to. Yeah, definitely being the goal now. He needs to make sure he doesn't die after time. That'd screw them, but I don't think anyone's going to come up to the ladder. The shot goes in. Okay, that's risky. That wasn't too necessary, but going to back away easily enough anyway. Could drop a rifle over now. That'll help out a tiny bit, I suppose. Not going to get himself a lot of nades, but overall they should have a decent amount on the rest of the players as well, so I don't think that'll cost them too much. But yeah, A here for Nemiga now. They have the opportunity to still come out with 9 from the CT side. And as we said, considering they went down 4-1 after they took the pistol and then dropped against the force buy, this is a pretty good recovery to their CT side overall. forZe, though, still on a number that they can be happy with. If they get to 7th, though, that's when they really start feeling good about themselves. Base play, going straight out mid and looking for that connector control, and Box being caught off guard. At this point now, that A split could be detrimental to the CT's defense because it's only Lollipop to hold it down, and he's not able to get himself a kill, unfortunately. Immediately dropped by face crack. A good bit of damage being done, but with Speedak also being tagged up a little bit with the rotation now needing to come in, I was going to say they should get this bomb down uncontested, but Almazar is dropped elsewhere. MDS popped out and got one. Speedak going to find Flip pushed up in jungle. Now it's come down to, I was going to say the 2-on-2. Every time I try and get a number out, Mitch, it's all on Speedak on his own to try and put this 9th on the board for Nemiga. If not, we will see forZe managing to pull it up to 7 at the half-time. And right now, Speedak again is hoping that someone's going to give him a little bit of a peek so that he can drop it to the 1-on-1, which is a little more winnable. He does have a smoke, which goes straight down on the bomb. Flash as well, trying to give himself some room to move forward, but Z-Power doesn't let that happen. Swings in straight away, gets the final kill, and yeah, really good recovery. Really good half overall there that forZe can be happy with on their T side. A decent recovery, though, for Nemiga, so I do still think the second half of this map is going to be competitive. But as always, guys, we have to wait to find out just a few minutes as we send it to a halftime break.
lost and all alone. Time's not kind and it won't let go. No thoughts left in my head. My mind's not mine and it won't forget. But you bring me back from my darkness black as the soul in me and the heart I have for you. It bleeds for you, it beats again. Oh, you bring me to life. 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 Bring me to
Hello everybody and willkommen. Welcome back. Nemiga 8-7 up on their T side as they start out on the attack. This is forZe's map pick. And this is forZe's opening duel as well. So Power owning middle all by himself. And then the whole team swings on Speedak. I've never seen a man be peaked by 4 players before. Now we have.
Yeah, no, he was screwed there. Nothing that could be really done. They have got the B-bomb side at least in the meantime, so that plant would be a pretty big bonus. As we know on the T side, getting the plant on the pistol, even if you lose it, then can put you in a fairly decent position. And look at Lollipop getting himself one there as they try and come through the murder hole. I mean, if you're rotating in and you hear that something's called the murder hole, you probably want to avoid it. They definitely do need to in this situation now, as we actually see Nemiga leaving Kitchen, setting themselves up to hold off this short push. Another kill being found by Box. Nemiga are managing to pull this back into a very, very winnable round, and it looks like it's going to happen. Face crack alone, and despite getting the first after already being dinked up, he's just not able for the second. Lollipop swings in for the trade, and there it is. Nemiga able to come through and pick themselves up the pistol, take that lead up 9-7. And get off to the strong start that they needed on this T side, because as we had said, 7 rounds obviously on their T side for forZe was pretty strong, especially if they were to pick up the pistol. But Nemiga getting here gives them a chance to try and get a little bit of security between them potentially. Obviously being on the CT side as well, forZe's force buy is not fantastic.
We said it coming into the start of this game as well that Lollipop was a man to watch, but I didn't expect him to have those kind of performances. Winning the pistol round almost single-handedly. We know him for his rifling proficiency, not necessarily for his blocking. Evidently, both are enviable. forZe, like you said, Dean, they don't have a lot to work with, do they? There's a Power on the scout, bit of money saved over so that he can buy an AWP in one of the next rounds or the next buy round. And out goes Almazer for one. They don't know about Flit, and it's a full B stack. The Deagle's catching them all off guard, one after another. Box running around with a MAC-10, but he's caught out by Jerry. Every time they kill someone, another emerges from a different angle. And forZe, what a great round. The predictive play towards B early on, stacking up, taking all the corners one at a time, popping heads. And Nemiga are going to be understandably disappointed to lose that one out. They still manage an 8K ×2, actually, Box and Jo with those. It's a pretty damn good buy considering they just lost that previous.
Yeah, I mean, they only lost the rounds. Why should they have bad weapons? Or 2 AKs. I mean, on paper, the buy isn't really that much worse. It's the op that really boosts it up for forZe, because those Tech 9s can be lethal against the MAC-10s and the MP9 at close range. And the Deagle can still do some damage. Definitely not on the level of that AWP, though. Oh, but look at this Box coming in from behind. Already has the back of one. Z-Power going to be able to return a single kill so far, but with the second from MDS as well, we see them going in favor of Nemiga. The bomb site being found. The bomb yet to be retrieved and planted, but we have one man just delaying that rotation and doing further damage. Leaving it all onto Z-Power. Almazar and Flit, with 2 of them being heavily tagged up. It looks like they've considered already what the options are, and they've decided that the save is really the best one to be in right now. Nemiga don't let forZe get away with anything, fighting right back into it. It's one of these games, Mitch.
It is one of the back and forth. I mean, this is CIS Counter-Strike, Dean. What are you expecting, in all honesty? Force buy after force buy. There was the game we did a while ago. I'm pretty sure it was with forZe, that every single force buy was the one to win. I remember seeing one of the teams take an eco then. You're like, no, get the Deagles. They always win in the CIS. It's like the tier list. You've got an eco, you've got a buy round, you've got a buy round with an op, then a double op setup, and then right at the top, it's just deagles and armor. That's the best for CIS teams.
Yeah, they're crazy with them. I mean, a lot of the time in those scrappy games, you're like, okay, finally someone's taking an eco, but in the back of your mind, you're like, damn, I really wanted to see more of that. That's how it goes, and we're not going to see forZe giving up on their hopes of being able to come out on top of these scrappy force buys in the beginning. They're coming right back in, as you said. It is a deagle here, which can be dangerous. Less importantly, there's an op as well for Z-Power. I mean, not a bad weapon at all. But yeah, no, with Z-Power being obviously the top fragger right now, having that in his hands definitely could be the turning point in this round. There's certainly a good opportunity for them to try and fire back once again. But early on, they have lost this mid control without really being able to do a lot about it. We even see Nemiga even getting a player up in towards the ladder room right now. So Speedak having a strong spot very early in the round. Obviously somewhere where you can hold the rotation, set yourselves up for the B split, or if you go towards A, a spot to play off with a bomb even. Does need to be careful of flitting the other side of that smoke there on window, but it looks like with the bomb around ramp, they probably will favor on towards A. Jo going to the apartments, one player on short. They might try and sell a little bit of a B fake beforehand. But that kill is huge though from MDS already.
They haven't spotted out Jerry though. The pistol lurking in the shadows, swings out, but not able to take a frag. And with that, it looks like we might just see a force buy get thrown or tossed aside. The Power still has his op, looking to bring it through to the next round. Holding down on the B side for any victims. Oh, Almazer was going to peek it, but he turned his back. He's going to be flanked out by Jo now. That split-second decision cost him his life. The Power, if he get... Oh, no, they know where he is now. There's enough time. They're going to hunt him down. They're going to swing through. Oh, not together, though. Jo goes by himself. Deagle out. Zapower's got one up close. And this is not a favorable fight. He wins it. Can't get the reload off in time or even switch to the op. It's Lollipop that takes him down and picks up an op that I'm sure is going to go to Speedak in just a second.
This is a big issue. A really big issue for forZe. I mean, they're already down a map. They've now, unfortunately, lost out on the battle for the economy here early on the half and will have to finally take an eco for themselves. Given a 12th round over to Nemiga already, and obviously coming onto that next gun round, I mean, they'll get... what, 2,400 from this round, so they'll have an okay investment, but it's not going to be amazing. So there's a real good opportunity for this next gun round potentially to go towards Nemiga, and if it does, they likely will just run away with that scoreline. So forZe now beginning to feel this pressure for sure. Nothing too crazy with these pistols either. Not really going for a mad stack. There is 3 players around the A-bomb site, a couple of them playing around Palace, and then, as you can see, 1 on default. So maybe a chance for a few kills to come in, as it does seem like Nemiga do definitely want to favor on towards this bomb site. Oh, nicely placed Molotov, though.
Very much so. MDS avoids getting pistoleroed from below. Takes the kill with the molly afterwards. The stack this time not working out for forZe, and Almazer's left on the outside doing what I'm sure Hugo would be quick to slag him for, saving over a deagle. He doesn't like it when people don't go for 1v5s, calls them baiters. I'm not a baiter, Hugo! But Almazer might get an exit and find a rifle. See, he knows how to play the economy game, how to play the stats, the figures. And with a deagle in hand, he's being spotted. So, unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's going to get the chances, I say, as they push into him. Luckily, though, missing the shots. Luckily for Lollipop, that is. As the T's build up, just a little bit more money. And forZe, man, they're struggling. If they lose this round, Nemiga are on the home stretch.
I mean, this might be the biggest upset since you beat Dinko, if I'm being honest.
All right. Okay. Listen, we want to talk about that show match. All I'll say is 1.15. That's all that needs to be said.
Play another. Let's see
No,
if
I'm
it sticks
good.
there.
I'll keep my HLTV rating as it is. We never need to touch another professional game. Thank you.
Oh, Flay has pushed right up into this top mid smoke. This is a risky spot to be in. To be fair though, with the op, if he was to push through, catch the first player off guard, then the op's in a tough spot where it has to hit that immediate trade. And he's actually beginning to fall back away. Is Flick gonna expect one to still be behind the boxes though? Definitely does now. And actually has the flash come over to help out. A nice opening frag being found by forZe in a round that they very much needed it in. Give themselves a little bit of comfort. It will be the A push coming in, and for the moment they're just taking the fights, not putting smokes down. Given the opportunity for these weapons to come out on top for forZe, as you can see the op getting one pick, the M4 of Jerry then going to find Box coming around the steps. They did try and flash him over at least, but now they're in a very tough 2-on-4. Spotting the op 100% on ramp also. knowing Jo was around mid earlier on, so they have a little bit of info about what's going on. Very loud helicopter or something flying over my house.
We can't hear it, luckily. 40 seconds left. There's going to have to be a lot for forZe. They'll lose this. A lot of mistakes coming through, even with face crack low. They're just holding down, biding their time. And with no utility, I don't know if Nemiga should be going for this. I see Jo pushing forward on ramp, but that makes me a little bit worried. We're going to see the peak. Speedak can maybe poke the beast in towards jungle, but he doesn't see anyone there, nor on stairs. The time is so low. The flash goes out. They're going to commit to it. Peek over towards connector, sees the power fall. 10 HP left. That fight has to be won by Speedak, but he can't get it. No way he commits this bomb plant. No way he gets it.
Oh
what? Whoa, they actually got face crack. Oh my god, they might win this round. This was a very low probability of them coming out on top, but Chaos in a 1v1. Known to be blowy. Here's the drop. And Almazer connects the headshot, but man. Oh, I really, I can't. Like, the fact that
so well played.
Speedak finds it, right? He gets the connector player, who doesn't manage to catch him off guard. He almost dies to CT. The molly goes down, pushes the player back for a second, plants the bomb, has so much faith in Jo finding the frag, which he does. And literally one op shot from Speedak connecting, and that would have been their round. One more in that 2v2. That's insane.
Even just the way he planted the bomb, though, he didn't plant it dead on default so that he wouldn't get spammed down. He moved over slightly, and the little bit of spam came in. It didn't connect, so the player in the CT spawn being face crack, if I'm remembering correctly, he tried to swing out, and yeah, that's exactly when the angle was being held. So they played that really well to ensure that they had a good chance of getting the bomb down and being able to actually cover it, despite not really having the player in position to cover off that CT swing immediately, especially if it was from the right side. But yeah, well played. I mean, a nice opportunity. They brought it to the 1v1. They keep the economy quite low for forZe, who are not willing to give up on this aggression. Again, bringing it up towards top mid early on. The wallbang, though, from Speedak, helping out Box, who was struggling through the box, ironically. Has one health himself at this point, so despite it being the 1-for-1 trade, not an ideal position for Nemiga to be in. The law of Bogdan coming into effect as the op is traded over.
Face crack not being spotted, though, this time getting his revenge for the previous round, and then getting spammed through the box. Taken down with the headshot, but still a 2v3 and a hard situation to make work again. Speedak walking back with a flashbang in hand. He's taken out. Box trades, but it's too little too late. 1 HP on the board. And if he gets away with this one, it will be highway robbery. Forward with a Glock in hand. That is not going to work out, unfortunately for him. On 1 HP, I don't think the Glock, I think even op no scoping would be give him a better chance.
They're loving these early aggressions, though, which, when it doesn't work out immediately, they haven't really been backing off from it, which is just giving forZe the opportunity to rotate over. I mean, by the time they started moving forward towards the stairs there was 3 players around jungle/connector, so it was a very tough spot for them to be in once they did actually try and take the bomb site itself. But a little bit of damage again being done. This time, though, Nemiga spending pretty much all of their money to get this buy-in, so this is a real opportunity. If forZe get this round, they're probably going to go ahead and actually tie the score back up, which for a little while wasn't looking too likely. So Nemiga, I mean, they need to get back into their winning ways if they don't want to let this one slip away and take it on towards the third map. Right now, just going for a default, nothing crazy. They've gotten the mid control because this time forZe haven't gone aggressive on this position, which, as of course we did see in those previous 2 rounds. Kind of resorting back to their more standard hold at this point, which, of course, earlier on wasn't working too well for them. The MP9, though, getting aggressive into ramp right now. There is one player around this area. It's Lollipop, but he's more focused on Palace. Okay, the timing just as he turns around. That was perfect.
It looks like Nemiga want to finish out towards BD, and they haven't got any info here earlier on. And the one thing they have going for them is Box's position. And look at the map there. You see number 4 tucked in window. He's cutting off and he rotates. And Nemiga will definitely drag those over as soon as they execute into this site. That's Box's chance to find some frags. Lollipop still sat outside of A is questionable, but the position Box is in, it doesn't feel necessary. As Jo falls, Lollipop makes a move forward. He's going to try to fake this one out. Maybe catch a kill. He almost does onto Zapower. We're seeing here Box fall, and nothing is working out. There's a nade kill for Lollipop, but as they try to rotate back, FaceCrack is here. Hello. And just takes MDS down. Was completely caught off guard by that push. He's gone all the way through Palace, completely evading Lollipop.
Yeah, this one's done. As you can see, the time obviously not giving him any hope of even moving towards that bomb. Had the 2 kills to his name, so it would have needed to have been the ace clutch as well. So, yeah, not much really for Nemiga or for Lollipop specifically to do. Saving over the AK, it helps out. They do have 2,900 loss bonus coming from the next round, so ideally they'll want to get the bomb plant down to confirm that Lollipop's going to be able to get himself the buy here in this next round, or at least find a kill. Even then, though, he'd be limited on utility quite a lot, so you do wonder what way exactly they're going to approach this. They're actually just full-on buying up. I mean, this is a straight-up CIS buy. 3 AKs, no helmet on the speedak, 2 deagles. It's not the worst buy. It's definitely winnable. And Nemiga just, rather forZe might not expect this one, if I'm being honest. Jo with the deagle looking for the opening pick on the op over in apartments. The shot being missed gives the chance for some damage, at least to be outputted there.
This could actually work out really well for Nemiga. They've seen a deagle, so they're expecting a weaker play, and Jerry, he tucks away, thinking, I'm only up against the deagle. What's he going to do, spam me? And then the AK
He's
comes
like, I can
through.
Just pop up and down against the P250 or whatever.
Exactly, yeah. It's probably a Glock. I can't even wall back. Bang. AK's taking him down. That early push, no, not working out for you this time, forZe. They lose ramp control, and all of a sudden a 5v3. They thought they were against pistols, but man, oh man, were they wrong. Almazer shouldn't be expected to be down here. Oh, but he's spotted now, and getting away with one. But that's about all. Murder hole serves its purpose as Flit falls and Zapower left in CT all by himself. An AWP in hand, and the money is not great for the CT side. Ideally, he saves this, but where can he go that's safe? Certainly in his mind, nowhere. They can come in. They're probably still in jungle. They're probably still looking into CT, so going over there to kitchen is not the play. Really, he has to just try to find frags if they do push him, and if not, save down in CT. Problem is, they've cleared T-spawn, middle, apartments now, and B site. There's not many more places he can be, and you know it's the power, so you know that's an op. Worthwhile taking it out of his hands, but they don't have a lot of cash on the T side. So them playing passive and just letting him save this is a possibility. You can see that speedak is feeling a little bit greedy. Wants to roll the dice.
To be fair, if they were to take that weapon away, it puts forZe in a big predicament. But yeah, not going to work out. That's a little bit costly. You're going to have to see the weapons, of course, now being dropped over. Their buy could be a little bit impacted by actually losing that extra rifle. Yeah, you see a Mac 10 actually coming into play for box now. So yeah, that's a bit of the extra damage I think forZe can be happy with. It would have been worthwhile definitely if they got it. So I think kind of risk reward wise, you can see why he did attempt it, as I was saying. If they had taken the op, then in this round there would have been 2 rifles, and there would have been there would have been 3 rifles, and then 2 players on full double eco, so they'd have to just buy up pistols and Kevlar. Now Z-Power is able to drop a little bit over. Actually goes for an MP9 to Jerry. Can give a rifle over to Almazar now, I'd imagine. No, not gonna... Oh, yeah, he did. I actually just didn't notice it being dropped over. So it is a pretty good investment overall, thanks to the weapon being saved. But obviously, both teams at this point now having pretty much no money in the bank. Both of them, if they lose this, only getting 1,900 loss bonus. So this is an extremely important round for both of them, especially forZe. If they lose it, they're going to be dropping down, giving up map and serious points most likely to Nemiga, so they can't really afford to let that happen. And with a Mac 10 in play and with Box in the front of the pack, it looks like this is going to be a quick B rush. Only the 1 player watching the apartments, but I believe there was some aggression around short as well. Yeah, 1 player who's already returned. Unfortunately, that kitchen rotate not going to be quick because we see in the underpass initial aggression. Almazar at least been able to find one. Flick trying to return will be able to do the same, but he's low already. So JO's ready for the trade as he drops in, and they find control of this bomb site. And with the smoke still down, that's going to be holding the CTs off for at least a little while, giving them the time to get that bomb down.
forZe definitely want to commit to this. It's too late to allow Nemiga to take rounds. If they lose this, though, Nemiga are on the home stretch. They're 15 pretty much on the board with an eco faced by forZe. Very important as they move into position. The frag's not going their way at all. Jo just sprays down 2. And Zapower, one of the strongest players for forZe, can't make a 1v3 happen this time around. The world is topsy-turvy today, Dean. 14 on the board for Nemiga. Coming into this series, I didn't believe in them at all, and honestly, I'm happy to be proven wrong. This has been phenomenal play start to finish, coupled with some mistakes from forZe for sure, but also that plays into their aggressive play style. They're not a team that play the stat game, that plays super passive and even advantageous situations. They're one that likes to get in your face, and that's the problem in domestic matchups. That kind of play style increases RNG a lot because Nemiga, they like to do that too, and they also know a lot about forZe. You may guarantee that this match means a lot more to them than it does to forZe. Beating them is going to be huge, and Flit falls. There's the short control opened. B site, free for the taking, and the pistols not getting a whole lot of access, certainly not into the early round. Dean, this is phenomenal. I am blown away by Nemiga's performance so far. And you know me, for the last, 2 years, every time I see forZe, I'm their biggest fan. I absolutely love this team, but they've really let this one slip away. Hashtag bias caster. But no, not really. I love the team. Their come up. We saw them. We were commentating. I was analyzing them back in the hot shots, you know, back when they were starting out and they were nobodies. And all of a sudden, they just jumped straight to the top. They're in minors. They're doing absolutely everything. They're winning. They're in dream hacks doing huge damage. They have gotten so good so quickly. But this is just a match that completely blindsided me.
Apologies, I was just responding to one of the admins for a moment. I didn't miss all too much, apparently. Obviously, this is going to be the buy round now coming in, but they're going to be just scraping it together on the side of forZe. This is, as you said, what you say, it was a top C-Tour. At least so far, anyway. We're seeing Almazar really not having a strong performance either for them. We have kind of two standout players being Flit and also Z-Power, as you would expect. But then over on the side of Nemiga, it's the K's that are just fragging out mad. Lollipop 21k on 29 kills, Speedak on 19. And it's going to have to be 4 in a row for the overtime here. How Nemiga have been playing on this T side so far, I find that a little bit difficult to believe in. But that's a good start. The optic there pushing up through mid. They didn't realize Box was actually in position as well. He manages to line up too. Fortunately, that aggression from Flit on short at least brings it back to the 3-on-3. But look at what they have available. They have barely any nades. Almazar has a glass cannon M4. I don't know how that has happened. He has no armor behind it, unfortunately. And still a lot of time for the T's to play this 3-on-3.
Lurking towards connector from MDS. Played out super slowly. As they move towards the bomb site, actually there's only one smoke in play. I realize Lollipop's gone for the double flashbang. Obviously playing in towards Palace, but it could certainly help them now moving into the site. They know they don't need a smoke connector, but one in jungle and one CT would make this a prime take for Nemiga. Instead, they have to leave one of these angles open. I imagine it would be jungle just because they already have their lurk in there from MDS, so he can swing to trade, whereas that CT position is much more threatening. With 25 seconds left, it's going to have to be quick. They spot CT, they take the duel, but indeed they lose it. MDS managing to take down Flit. There's still the CT player to contend with. 2 HP left. The molly on its way through. Goodbye, Jerry. It's a wallbang that takes him down, and Almazer has to clutch a 1v2. Oh, the spams! He gets it as well. 6 seconds. They've got to plant the bomb. MDS has got time. Oh, not this time.
I was going to say, Derry, he's straight through the smoke. Yeah, that's ballsy. MDS hadn't even moved. He was just holding for that peak to come in. Knowing, obviously, he was still around there with the amount of bullets that had been shot away.